Yes, Bhaiya, 50 is clearly visible and your voice is also very clear. Welcome.
So once again, welcome you all in this holistic health session. So in the previous session, few of the participants, they shown interest in treatment of obesity. So today's session, we will discuss about the same, about the prevention and reduction of obesity through the lifestyle changes, through the yoga, and following some simple Ayurvedic principles. So we will know about what exactly the obesity is. So obesity is often defined simply as condition of abnormal or excessive fat accumulation in adipose tissue to the extent that the health may be impaired. So fat is required for our body, but when fat is accumulated in excess quantity, in such a quantity where it starts disturbing our normal activities and where our health is impaired because of this excess collection of the fat, that situation we say it as obesity. So obesity is often expressed in terms of body mass index. Generally we use the short term as BMI, body mass index, and it is defined as the weight in kilogram divided by the height in meter square. So your height in meter, so like generally we calculate height in feet. So 1 feet is equal to 30 centimeter. So like this you can convert the height into the meter, and that is square. And weight in kilogram, so weight in kilogram divided by the height in meter square. By this, you can calculate your BMI. So many apps are there in the Android and even the online. So many BMI calculators are available, and you can easily calculate your BMI. And there are so many this conversion also where you can convert your feet into the meter. So by this easily you can calculate your BMI. So you'll know which BMI is suitable and how we can know that what is my BMI and whether I am in the overweight condition, obese condition, or in the normal weight. So if the BMI is below 18.5, that is underweight. So this person requires nutritional food and proper diet to increase the weight. And the normal weight is between the 18.5 to 22.9. So if the BMI falls in between the 18.5 and 22.9, in between that, that means he is in the normal weight. So the height and his body weight in proper proportion. And if it crosses sorry, it was disconnected. So I hope you are able to see the slide. So when BMI is in between the 18.5 to 22.9, so that means the person's height and his body weight is in the proportion and he is healthy person. When the BMI reaches to 23 and in between 24.9, so he has excess fat accumulation and this person is overweight. When the BMI crosses 24.9 and reaches to 25 and in between 22.9, then this is the grade 1 obesity. And when the BMI is above 30, that means the person is severely obese, or this is very severe type of obesity. So just by calculating the BMI, you can know whether your body weight and your height is in the proportion or not, whether you comes under this normal weight criteria or underweight or overweight or obesity grade 1 or obesity grade 2. So why we give a lot of importance to this calculation of BMI and maintaining normal body weight in proportion to your height. So because this obesity, it's a very fertile ground for manifestation of so many problems. So obesity may not be a problem, but it will give a very proper platform through which so many problems, so many organs will be affected. So we'll have a look of how the obesity is affecting our whole body. So it may affect our head region by idiopathic intracranial hypertension, stroke, cataract. So there may be stroke or the hemorrhage because of the excess fat collection. The arteries, they become narrow and there will be extra pressure over the arteries by the flow of the blood. And sometimes these arteries get ruptured. And when they will rupture in our brain, so that will cause hemorrhage. Or sometimes when these arteries are blocked, there may be lack of blood supply into one part of our brain, so there will be ischemic attack. So these kind of problems may occur. Then cataract may occur, coronary heart disease, we know generally, also we understand this, that excess of fat collection may cause our cardiac issue or the problem related with our heart. So the coronary heart disease, coronary arteries, they supply blood to our heart muscles. So our heart muscle, they are continuously pumping the blood and they require enough blood supply. These blood supply is maintained through this coronary artery. When there is excess fat accumulation, the same again, the arteries wall, inside that the excess fat will accumulate. Sometimes this artery will be blocked. There will be no blood supply or lack of blood supply to our heart muscles. There will be ischemia, there will be pain. And when there will be completely blocked, then there will be no blood supply to our heart muscle. The heart muscle may die, and that may create problem like heart attack, or even if many arteries are blocked with the same kind of pathology, it may cause even very fatal condition. Again, the diabetes, we know very well that the diabetes and obesity, they are interrelated. Dyslipidemia, when there is excess of fat collection, these fat will be flowing with our blood in liquid form. So this will cause dyslipidemia, hyperlipidemia, hypertension. Again, when the arteries inside the arterial wall, there will be fat accumulation. So the heart has to pump blood with the force, and these blood, when they will force, they will create extra pressure to our arteries, and that condition we say as the hypertension. So the pressure which is created by this blood on the arterial wall, that we say as the pressure, arterial pressure, when this is increasing, say it as the hypertension. So generally 120 to 80 mmHg, that is the normal blood pressure. When it reaches beyond 135 and 85, the systolic is 135, diastolic is 85. When it crosses beyond that, then we say the person is pre-hypertensive. When it crosses 140 by 90, then we say the person is hypertensive. And obese person, they are tend to have this particular hypertensive problem. Then severe pancreatitis, Pancreatitis, we know that it secretes insulin, and insulin is related with our glucose metabolism. So obesity is again related with the diabetes, and again it may affect our pancreas. Then cancer may occur related with the breast, uterus, cervix, colon, esophagus, pancreas, kidney, prostate. These cancer, it may become ground for the pathogenesis of even cancer. Then phlebitis, that is inflammation of our blood vessels. Gouty arthritis, we know that excess of collection of uric acid, and these uric acid crystals will accumulate in our joints, smaller joints, where there will be very narrow blood vessels. There will be very narrow, minute blood vessels will be there. So these crystals, they will get accumulated there and they will cause severe pain. So these all problems. The osteoarthritis, the knee joint will be affected because there is excess weight, excess fat accumulation, and there will be excess weight also. And or this knee joint, ankle joint, they are the weight bearing joint. So these joints may have the overloading, and because of this overload, the bones, they will be affected. Degenerative changes will be there. So such things will cause osteoarthritis. Then many other problems related with the gynecological issues, abnormal menses, infertility, polycystic ovarian disease, that is PCOD or PCOS, is very common nowadays because of the lack of physical activities. There will be excess of fat accumulation, and that will cause PCOS. Then gallbladder disease. The gallbladder is situated just below the liver, and the obesity may cause gallbladder disease. There will be formation of gallstones also because of the obesity. Then non-alcoholic fatty liver. So when there is excess of fat, there will be fatty liver disease. Then it may also cause cirrhosis. That means death of our liver tissues. So liver may undergo cirrhosis because of the excess of our fat collection. Then pulmonary disease, so abnormal function, obstructive sleep apnea. So these people, they will have difficulty even in sleeping, because when they will sleep, because of the excess fat accumulation over the chest, it will cause difficulty in breathing. So their breathing will be obstructed. They will frequently wake up. Hypoventilation, again, there will be extra load over the chest. The lungs will have difficulty to take proper breath, and that way the person will have hypoventilation and he will wake up, he will again breathe. So these all problems are related with obesity. So excess of obesity may create or may become a very fertile ground for manifestation of all these kind of problems. So what is the situation of the world? What is the prevalence of this particular problem? So recent studies reported that globally more than 1.9 billion adults are overweight and 650 million are obese. So roughly the current population is near about 8 billion. So out of 8 billion, 1.9 billion adults. Adults means we say they are the working force. So they are obese. So that is the situation. So almost nearly 24 to 25% of the population, they are overweight or obese. So approximately 2.8 million deaths are reported as a result of being overweight or obese. So, just we have seen what are the complications may come because of the excess fat accumulation and obesity. So many casualties are also happening because of obesity. And the cause of obesity, so due to consumption of energy-dense food, so unhealthy food habits, sedentary lifestyle. Now, gradually our lifestyle is becoming more and more sedentary. Previously, we were very much physically active. We were not having that much comfort. So the obesity was not a very big problem. But now obesity is becoming very big problem. We have all the luxurious food, luxurious comfort. The physical activity is gradually reducing, and that is becoming cause of the excess weight gain. Then lack of healthcare services and financial support. The obesity may have some other reasons also. Sometimes it may be related with some hormonal problem also. So in such condition, when the person doesn't have proper medical facilities, so that may again he will goes on becoming ill because of this obesity. The developing countries are facing high risk of obesity and their adverse consequences. So developing countries like India, they are facing a lot of problems. So we have both kind of problems. One side we have the malnutrition or undernutrition condition, and other side we have this obesity problem. And in India, the top one killer is cardiac problem. So cardiac problem is again related to obesity. So approximately 39% of global adult populations were classified as overweight. So nearly 39%. You can imagine the condition. 39% people are classified as overweight or obese. Whereas the prevalence of obesity was 6.4% among women and 3.2% among men in 1975. So just to see 1975. And now the situation has almost doubled. So that way the population and this problem is prevailing among this whole world. So we'll see what are the lifestyle measures we have to follow to prevent obesity or excess weight gain. And even the person who are obese, they can reduce their weight following this healthy regimen. So again, this we have discussed in detail about the daily regimen, regimen section. But again, we will go through these all part briefly. So we have to wake up early in the morning. When I say early in the morning, it means before sunrise. So at least half an hour before sunrise, we have to wake up. Then drinking a small cup of water or 1 glass of water, not drinking too much of water. Too much of water is not required. And the amount of water which we consume in the early morning, that depends upon the season, that depends upon our physical activity. And again, the place where we live, suppose we are living in AC room, so we do not require too much of water. If there is winter season, we don't require so much of water. But if it is summer, we may require 2 or 3 glasses of water also. So that depends. It's not fixed that every day we have to take only this much of water. Sometimes you may not require also. But in general, we recommend that from 1 cup to 1 glass as per your thirst, as per the season and your physical activity. You have to understand your need, and then you have to take the water. Then after that, we have to go for the evacuation of our natural allergies, passing of urine, feces, etc. Then maintaining our oral hygiene, so that we have to do. Then at least 1 hour we have to devote for the physical activities, some kind of physical activities. So maybe walking, maybe doing some kind of yoga, or even gardening, or even some other activities, household related work also we can do. So we have to involve in some kind of physical activities, so that at least we should have enough perspiration. Sweating is important, so enough sweating should come. So that much at least physical activity we have to do. Again, when I say physical activity, doesn't mean that we should be too much exhausted or very much tired performing this physical activity. So initially we have to just do half of our physical strength. So like if I feel too much exhausted walking 1 kilometer, so I have to stop walking at half kilometer itself. So half of my physical strength I have to perform physical activity, or do yoga or exercise or any kind of Surya Namaskara or other form of gym or some these kind of activities. So you will find that initially you may become tired walking half kilometer, but slowly as you continue the practice, gradually you will be able to walk even 1 kilometer, and then you will even reach to 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers. So like this, your physical activity will goes on increasing. You will feel comfortable even walking for the long distance also. But initially, when you start, just understand your physical strength, your capacity, and do half of that. Don't get too much exhausted doing yoga or exercise. Then again, see, obesity is related to so many psychological issues also. And sometimes the people who are obese in the society, there will be some kind of remark on them over them that you are obese, you do this, do that. So these people will be having some kind of psychological issues also. So doing prayer, involving in some kind of spiritual practices, that will also help. And even it will help in balancing your hormonal status also. So then we have to take breakfast, and it should be half of our stomach capacity. Suppose taking 4 chapati, we feel satisfied. So we have to stop at 2 chapati itself. And we are choosing the food for the breakfast. So we know the causative factor of obesity, that energy dense food, fatty food, these all are the causative factor, maida products, bakery products, fried products. So we have to avoid those all things. We have to go for the dalia, ragi, kodo, or wheat upma, or some very simple like jo ki roti and moong dal. These kind of very simple food we have to take, which will give us nutrition also, and which will not again contribute in increasing our weight. So such kind of diet we have to select for our breakfast. Then we have to go for our routine work, whatever, like if I am a student, I have to go to college. If I am working somewhere in the company, so that all activities we have to do. In the afternoon, we have to take food, preferably between 12 to 1 time. So again, depends upon the your working time also. But here also we have to take the lunch half of our physical, half of our stomach capacity. So like the chapati, which is made of wheat, barley, ragi, these kind of grains, and taking a very small cup of rice, then moong dal, masoor dal, these all things. And when we are taking vegetable, we have to avoid this potato, and we should go for this green vegetables like the methi, bitter gourd, karela, papaya, rich gourd. So these kind of, or bottle gourd, lauki, these kind of things we have to go, spinach. So these vegetable will be suitable. These will be having enough fiber also. The person will not feel constipated. He will feel satisfied also taking these varieties of vegetables. So that way we have to do. And after this lunch, we have to take at least 15 to 20-minute rest. Then again, we can involve in our routine activities. Evening, as per the season, if it is summer season, we can go for having full body water bath, or if it is winter or other season, we can just have simple washing our face and hands. Then again, evening, if possible, we have to involve in some spiritual practices, some meditation, dhyana, or some chanting of some kind of mantras. These will be very beneficial. This will give a lot of positivity also. When you are having mindset that you have to reduce your weight, such kind of practices will give you a lot of support. Then in the night time is important, because daytime we are working, some physical activities we are involved in, or some office work or some kind of other study work, something we are involved. But night time, what happens is we take food, and after taking 1 or 2 hours, we go to bed and sleep. So night time we have to take only 1/3 of our stomach capacity. Suppose if we are feeling satisfied in 6 chapati, so we have to take only limit to only 2 chapati. So less food is required. Again, the same thing, when we are taking chapati, instead of maida, we have to go for wheat, barley, ragi, all these mixed grain also we can go. The barley is very suitable for obese person. Barley is having enough fiber also. It will never cause constipation, and it will give you enough strength also. And this barley is by taste also it is almost similar to wheat, and we can even mix wheat and barley both. Then a small cup of rice, we can take moong dal, tur or masoor dal, whichever you prefer. The best one is the moong dal, the green gram. Then vegetable again we have this karela or the leafy vegetable, whichever is available for the season we can go for. Then after having dinner, we have to go for small walk. The main physical activity we have to do in the early morning, not in the night. So night time only 100 steps, just a very small walk is suggested. And after that we have to sit comfortably, and then we have to give at least 1.5 hour gap. Suppose if we are taking food 8 o'clock, 8:30, then we have to go to bed about 10 o'clock. So 1 to 1.5 hour gap we have to give after the food. So like this, we have to plan our regimen. Then night time, with positive mindset, we have to go to sleep. So nearly 6 hours sleep is enough. So 6 to 7 hours sleep is suitable for every person. So if you have a very planned routine, and if you are involved in enough physical activities, naturally you will get proper sleep, proper sound sleep in the night time. So some of the things which you have to avoid. So eating without having good appetite. So this is very important. The appetite is suggesting that your body needs energy, you are in need of food. But suppose if you don't have appetite, even if you are not feeling to have breakfast, better to skip it instead of consuming without good appetite. And again, eating up to full of your stomach capacity. So this is again we have to avoid. Like breakfast, some delicious food is there, I like it too much. So it doesn't mean that you take it up to full of your stomach. You have to control this. Always you have to take food half of your stomach capacity, and then in the night time you have to take only 1/3 of your stomach capacity. Then taking food more than 2 times. So the full meal is only for 2 times. Other times, if you are feeling very much hungry, you can go with some simple kind of things like dalia, or you can go for the upma, or sometimes you can go even for the fruit juices. But don't go for like again some parotha or this kind of pizza or this kind of things. So the meal is only for 2 times. And we have to maintain proper timing. We should not take like one day we are taking 12 o'clock lunch, then another day we are taking 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, like this. We have to maintain a proper timing. So that is important. So avoiding milk products like the paneer, sweets, shrikhand, rabdi, ice cream, these all, we know that these all are the causative factor of obesity. So we have to try to avoid these kind of things. And then maida, besan. So most of these bakery products, they are made up of maida. They don't have any fiber. They are loaded with the fat, all the bakery products. So we should avoid these. Maida also we should avoid it. It will cause constipation and so many other problems. Then non-vegetarian food, that also we have to avoid. Then potato, beans, taking stale food, refrigerated food, these all practices we have to completely discard. We have to avoid these all things. Then banana, mango, custard, apple, chiku, these fruits are not recommended. These you should avoid. Then fermented food like dosa, idli, dhokla, khaman. Most of these food items, they are made up of this urad, black gram. Dosa, idli generally we prepare from the black gram. So this black gram we have to avoid. We can go for the dosa which is made up of green gram. Like in the Andhra Pradesh, there is a pesarattu, or they say for moong dal they use the word pesarapappu. In other places of in the Karnataka, Kerala, they have a variety of dosa which is made up of green gram. Even the idli, instead of going with black gram you can go with green gram, and that you can eat, but avoid if it is made up of black gram or the urad dal. Then cold drinks, soda, milkshakes, these all we have to avoid. If any person who is consuming alcohol, tobacco, etc., that he has to avoid. Then drinking water immediately after having food. So sometimes we have the mindset that I will take less amount of food and I will take more water, so that my stomach will be filled and I will consume less food. So that will help in reducing the obesity. So this is a wrong idea which they have. Actually, consuming lot of water after food, that is not recommended. So only 1 or 2 sips of water just to clean our oral cavity, that is recommended, but having a full glass of water immediately after food is not recommended. Then sleeping in the daytime, so that we have to avoid. Awakening up to late night, that we have to avoid. So proper sleep, sleeping in proper time, preferably between 11 to 5 or 10 to 4, that time is suitable for night sleep. So suppression of natural urges. So that is again, when we are feeling hungry, actually we should not forcefully suppress it. Feeling thirsty or urge of urination, defecation, these all urges are there. So we have to properly attend these urges. Then sitting continuously for a long time. So this already we discussed that sedentary lifestyle is one of the cause of obesity. So we should not continuously, even if we have some sitting job, so better to in every half an hour or 1 hour, we should get up and we should walk little bit, at least 100 or 50 steps, and then again come and sit and work. Sitting continuously without any movement, continuously working for 4 to 6 hours, so that is not recommended. You have to involve in some little physical activity, whatever is possible, even in the working place. So avoiding this anger, jealous, excessive worries, laziness, all those things. So we have to be very enthusiastic, physically active. Then what are the things we have to follow to reduce the obesity? So eating only when there is a good appetite. So good appetite is also indicative of that the person is having need of food. So when there is appetite, we have to take food, but again, not to satisfaction. We have to take only half of our stomach capacity. The next is timely food intake. This is important. We have to maintain proper timing of our food. Then less oily food, and we have to take less oily food, but we can use several Indian spices. So Indian spices, they all are anti-obesity. They all are having anti-obesity properties. Like we use the jeera, shunthi, jeera, ginger, or this methi, sarso, all these things. They all are having the hypolipidemic activity or anti-obesity activity. But when we say that you have to use spices, doesn't mean that you have to use a lot of oil and oily and spicy food. You have to use these spices, but you have to take, you can add some of these spices in your food. So instead of curd, those who like to have a curd, they can go for buttermilk. Butter will be more preferred. So removing the fatty portion, that is butter, removing all the butter, and then the liquid part, that is buttermilk. So the person who is fond of curd, he can go with the buttermilk. Then selecting some of the grains like the barley, ragi, kodo, millet, wheat, dalia, these all things we have to shift. Instead of going for wheat, pure wheat roti, we can go with this mixed grain roti. And whenever we are purchasing these grains, we have to check that it should not be the freshly harvested grain. We should go for at least for 6 to 1 year old grains. Then taking vegetarian and fibrous food. So avoiding non-veg, taking food, leafy vegetables, which we will be having enough quantity of fibers, so that we have to take. and such as the pointed gourd, ridge gourd, bottle gourd, methi leaves, spinach, snack gourd, cabbage, drumstick. These all are the preferred vegetables. Then the fruits, we can go for pomegranate, jamun, mosambi, orange. These all are the preferred food. Even we can go for the grapes also. Grapes is also suitable food. Then using only natural spices in your food. So natural spices we have to use, not this artificial or the preserved one or the packed one. So we have to go for this all natural spices like the ginger, pepper, mustard, fenugreek, coriander, garlic, onion. These all things we can use. But again, the important thing is not using with lot of oil, but using less oil and using all these spices. All these spices will help for the reduction of obesity. Then preferably, if possible, we have to use lukewarm water for drinking. So even we can keep a liquid log, and that water we have to fill, and we have to try that whole day we should consume the same kind of water. Not that one time we take hot water, another time we take cold water. Not in this way. If possible, the whole day we have to take warm water, or if not possible, if it is difficult, then we have for the proper sleep, timely sleep for 6 to 7 hours, and we have then timely meditation, pranayama, etc. Sitting in erect posture, not with the very luxurious sitting chair. We have to sit straight and participate in sportive activities. Some simple things instead of going with the lift, we can prefer to go by, so that we will be involved in more and more physical activities. So very one important thing here is the energy intake and energy expenditure. So that should have a proper balance. When start accumulating everything in the form of, even if you are taking less oily food, you are taking normal food, but your intake and your expenditure is not proportionate. You are taking more amount of food but not involved in physical activities. That itself become the cause of weight gain and obesity. So this is very important. Small choices we have to make, and we have to see that we should involve in more and more physical activities, and whatever food we are consuming, that should be properly utilized. So if we follow this principle, we can easily prevent excess weight gain or even reduce our obesity. Then coming to yoga. Yoga is again is well known, and it's non-pharmacological method. It's a very simple thing that you have to just be little bit aware. You require little determination to do yoga regularly, and that will help you immensely. So instead of going with some kind of anti-obesity medicine, going and taking some tablets, etc., to reduce the obesity, it's better to change the lifestyle and follow yogic practices. Involve yoga in your daily life. So that will help you immensely. So again, the yoga is helpful even with the psychological issues which are associated with obesity. So I remember one of my relative. So my relative's daughter, she was very obese. So whenever the guests were coming to his home, the girl was not willing to meet anyone, just because she was obese. And immediately the person will see her, he will start suggesting some kind of remedy, some meet this doctor, go there, do this, do that. So the girl was tired of listening all those things, and she was she stopped meeting to the pupil. So even such kind of psychological issues may be there. So this yoga will even help in handling these kind of problems which are associated with obesity. There are several research work like yoga in women with abdominal obesity. In Indian, the most common is the abdominal obesity. You will see that their hands and legs, they are of normal stature. The hands, but there will be abdominal obesity. So central obesity is very common among the females. So yoga is very much helpful for reducing this central obesity. Then there are again research work about the effect of continuous yoga on body composition in obese adolescents. So adolescent, even the children, they can involve in yogic practices, consuming medicine, etc. may have some adverse problem also. But yoga will give you lot of benefit. So even adolescents, now adolescent obesity is becoming one more big problem because the parents are obese. So when the parents are obese, naturally the kid in the family or the children in the family, they will also follow the same kind of lifestyle, same kind of dietary habits. They will tend to become obese. So this is required involvement of yoga or including yoga in our daily family routine. And there are several research work about how the yogic practices are helpful in obesity and related handling this psychological difficulties with the obese person. One thing is strong determination is required because this is not 1 or 2 day or 1 week or just 15-20 days job. Reducing obesity requires a little long run practices. So such long run practices require control over your diet, full determination, following regular practices. So psychological support is very much required. So yoga will help you a lot in maintaining your healthy psychological status. Then comprehensive yoga program for weight reduction in children and adolescents with obesity. So many research work is done. So many research work are done in the India itself. This research work is carried out in the AIMS Delhi. And this is the general protocol, yogic protocol, research-based protocol for reduction of obesity. So if you follow this protocol, if we have to just devote nearly 45 minutes to 1 hour every day involving doing these all yogic practices. And if we are continuing with these practices, we can definitely get successful result. So like initially chanting Omkara, sitting in Sukhasana or the Vajrasana, if it possible initially. For the severely obese person, it may not be possible to sit in Vajrasana. They can sit in simple Sukhasana, starting with chanting Om. Then some loosening exercises are there. So some loosening exercises which will relax over all the joints, muscles, starting from the head to toe. Then involving in Surya Namaskara. Initially, it may be difficult to do the Surya Namaskara, but just if we are able to perform one time, that itself will be a good beginning. So if we are initially performing one time, after 3 or 4 days, we will be able to do it 2 times. Gradually, we will be able to do 3 times, 4 times. I know some of the persons, those who performed 108 Surya Namaskara daily. So even competition of doing Surya Namaskara. So each Surya Namaskara 10 rupees. Like this, he planned for the donation that the obese patients, if they do 1 Surya Namaskara, I will give 10 rupees from my pocket for the donation in one orphanage home. So like this, some initiative, some encouragement. So Surya Namaskara, so that will be greatly helpful. It is the combination of all the asanas, and with the breath, if you do, it becomes the combination of pranayama and asanas all. And it is very helpful in reducing the obesity. Then various kind of asanas like the standing asanas, Ardhagati Chakrasana, Padhastasana, Ardha Chakrasana, Vrikshasana, all those. Sitting posture, We can go with the Konasana, Naukasana, Paschimottasana. Then in the prone posture, lying on prone posture, we can go with Dhanurasana, Makarasana, Bhujangasana, and in the supine posture, we should perform Uttana Padasana, Sarvangasana, all these asanas. So there is no particular restriction for performing asanas. As much as you can do, that much asanas you can perform in all, even standing posture, sitting posture, prone posture, or supine posture. In all postures, as much as you can do, you can perform various kind of asanas. Involve yourself in these practices at least for 45 minutes to 1 hour. Then important thing is do the pranayama. Pranayama will give you a lot of psychological benefit, a lot of psychological strength. And when you are doing these practices, you will not feel exhausted. Whereas going to the gym or these kind of things make you very much exhausted. But when you do the yoga, you will feel more energetic. So do the pranayama, and at the end of the session, you have to relax for at least 5 to 10 minutes. Relax in Shavasana. So this is the general research-based protocol which proved to have beneficial effect on obese person. Then there are so many Ayurvedic drugs. Many of these drugs are available in your kitchen also, and they are found to have hypolipidemic activity. So they are all the anti-obesity drugs. And these drugs we are there available in our kitchen, and we consume these drugs. So like the musta, jambu, haridra is available in every kitchen. Then some of the very simple drug I will tell you from here is like the trifla. Trifla is the combination of 3 fruits: haritki, vibhitki, and amlaki. So this is very, and there are so many research work which proved that the simple trifla is having this hypolipidemic activity or anti-obesity activity. So these all are the other drugs which are having like the pipali, etc. It is available in our kitchen. So they all will be very beneficial. We use hing, asafoetida, that is there, ajumoda, ajwain, that is there in our kitchen. So these all drugs are having anti-lipidemic or hypolipidemic anti-obesity activities. So there are research work. This research work is on trifla. So efficacy of trifla, a combination of 3 medicinal plants in the treatment of obesity. So this, it was found that the trifla, the combination of haritki, vibhitki, amlaki, is very beneficial in management of obesity. Then this is the another research work on the trifla, the Ayurvedic medicine haritki, amla, and baheda generally we say. So this is again the trifla, reducing cholesterol, induced atherosclerosis in rabbits. So this trial was done on the animal trial was performed, and it was found that it is helping in reduction of this atherosclerosis. So atherosclerosis is a condition which is manifested because of the obesity. It will cause hardening of our blood vessel, and this atherosclerosis is again the cause of hypertension. So obese people, they tend to become hypertensive because of these changes in their arteries. So there will be excess accumulation of this fat inside the arteries, inner layer of the arteries. It will make the arteries hard, and when the blood is flowing in the arteries, it will flow with lot of pressure, and that we say as the hypertension. So atherosclerosis is one of the cause of hypertension, and it was found that the trifla is very helpful in reducing this atherosclerotic changes in our arteries. So again, this is one more drug here. The combination of trifla along with few more drugs are there. One drug is Garcinia indica, we say as the Vrikshamla, or here in the Maharashtra, etc. It is used for drinking during the summer season. So it has a cooling effect. kokum sharbat that they generally say. So that is Vrikshamla. So it is having the anti-obesity properties. So Tripla combined with this Vrikshamla, that is having this anti-obesity effect. So combination of yoga and Ayurveda is very beneficial in treatment of obesity and also in prevention of obesity. So outcome from a whole system Ayurvedic medicine and yoga therapy treatment for obesity. So again, the research publications are there, research were performed seeing the effect of yoga and Ayurveda, the combined therapy very beneficial. So overall, a management of obesity or reduction of obesity or the prevention from obesity that requires proper lifestyle, healthy lifestyle, involving yoga in our daily and following some of Ayurvedic principles, especially related to our diet. And if the person is already suffering with obesity, we can go with some simple medicines along with this, following the healthy lifestyle and yoga practices. So thank you so much. If anyone would like to share something or have any question, they may please ask.
Sir, namaste, sir.
Sir, namaste.
Hello. Hello. Sir, how are you, sir?
Namaste, sir. Please, sir.
Sir. How are you, sir? How are you, sir?
I am fine, sir. How are you, sir?
Hello. Yeah, I too, sir. I have two doubts, sir. If you permit me, I will ask, sir.
Please, sir, please.
Yes, sir. In children, sir, I saw most of the children, they are obese, sir. Is it because of genetic or you say hereditary, sir? If they follow protocol, can they reduce the children, sir?
Sir, actually, sir, what you told,
even after birth, I see some babies in weight, sir.
Actually, what you are saying is very correct, sir. Recently, I was
voice
involved
is breaking, sir.
Sir. Now, are you able to hear me, sir?
Yes, sir. Sir.
Okay, sir. So actually, sir, recently.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So recently.
Your talk is very excellent, sir, because nowadays one.
Sir, thank you so much for your comment, sir. So actually, sir, recently we are involved in this school children checkup, health checkup program. So even we found that lot of in a class of 60 to 60 students class, there were at least 10 students who were obese.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And actually, we were also worried that the student, and you will see the clear, like the obese person picture having a belly coming out and a very lazy lethargy. So that kind of children we saw here. So even we were very much worried why the children are becoming so much obese. So actually, we discussed with the school management and we asked to call their parents.
Yes, sir.
We met the parents. We found that even the parents are obese.
Yes, sir.
So what happened is, and there is a lot of difficulty in handling the childhood obesity. All the adolescent is okay. Somewhat it is possible because after 12 years, 10 to 12 years, he will able to hear you and he will understand like I am obese. You can explain and the children will understand.
Yes, sir. Yes.
For those who are just in the second class, third class and obese, it is very difficult to manage that condition.
Yes, sir.
We invited the parents and we discussed with them, and we found that even the parents' lifestyle is not healthy.
Yes.
And they are also obese. They are also suffering with the obesity, excess weight gain.
Yes.
And the
Yes.
problem here is the kind of lifestyle which the parents are following, the children also follow the same lifestyle.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Whatever they are
Yes,
eating,
sir.
they are giving to the children also, and they are also gaining weight. And that is what becoming the big issue.
Yes.
So,
Yes, sir.
adolescent, to some extent, you can advise and they will understand and they will follow your guidelines.
Yeah.
For the small children, it is important to teach the parents. When the parents are following healthy regimen,
Yes.
then naturally the child will follow the healthy regimen, and that is how you can
Yes.
manage. Because even if you give medicine, it is
Yes.
difficult to children, and medicine may not be palatable, and so many issues will be there.
Yes.
So, and again, the good thing is children, though they are obese, but still they have a lot of opportunities to involve in physical activities. So it is,
Yes,
if
sir.
we
Yes.
make the parents understand, it will be possible to handle the obesity. The another thing you ask is about the genetic. So actually, this genetic, you will find less
Yes.
number of cases which are which the obesity which is because of the genetic problem or which is because of the hormonal issue.
Yes.
There are less number of cases of such kind of obesity, but more number of obesity which
Yes, sir.
we is related with the lifestyle, wrong food habits. That is the main leading cause of the obesity, not the genetic problem, not
Yes,
the
sir.
hormonal issue. There are very less number of such cases.
Yes.
Ji, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, sir. Anything more?
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good. Nice, sir. Nice.
Sir, thank you so much.
Yeah, my second question is,
Ji, sir. Ji, sir.
Does the walking, sir?
Sir?
Hello?
Please, sir, please.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am able to hear you, sir. Please.
Sir, does taking steps, sir, to go to fourth floor or third floor equally to walking, sir? Hello?
Sir, just I gave the example that
Yeah,
whenever
does
you get
taking
the
steps, sir, to
opportunity
go to
to
third floor or fourth floor is equal to walking? Is equally to walking, sir, taking step to go to third floor or fourth floor.
Sir, that is also like I just gave the example, sir, that whenever you have opportunity to involve in physical activities, like most of the person, those who are working and having sitting kind of job, so they will not be having that much opportunity to go even for the walking or something.
Yes, sir.
Or involve in some regular vigorous sportive activities. So I just gave the example that if you are working in second or third floor, you can choose going by steps instead of going by lift. So at least little bit such kind of physical.
Yes.
So for that reason I gave, but as per if you have the choice or if you have enough such facility where you can go for a good walking nearby your house, some garden, etc. is there, definitely you can go for walking.
Good, nice, sir. Good.
Sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, yes, and I will share this to my friends also, sir.
Sir, my pleasure, sir.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good night.
Sir, thank you so much, sir. So any participant would like to share or would like to ask something?
हेलो
जी जी
हाँ
जी
हेलो
जी जी भैया
आई एम ऑडिबल
जी प्रभात भैया
हाँ एम आई ऑडिबल आवाज आ रही है एम आई ऑडिबल
हाँ जी जी भैया यू आर ऑडिबल भैया प्लीज
जी प्रभात भैया
नाम ले रहा पहले लेटर का
नमस्ते सर नमस्ते भैया भैया आई एम द अराउंड 118 kg and I
लेटर
started
रिगार्डिंग कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ constitution appointment of the कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन वेगळे असते अपॉइंटमेंट कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन म्हणजे कमिटी स्थापन झाली आणि त्या कमिटीमध्ये एका एका मेंबरला तुम्ही याच्यात आहे बा याचं ते दिलं गेलेलं पत्र असते ते अपॉइंटमेंट लेटर झालं एकत्र आहे का ते इथे काय लिहिलं आहे उपरोक्त संदर्भ आपल्या माझ्या अंतर्गत गुणवत्ता हमी समिती दिनांक 21/2 रोजी झालेल्या सभेत सर्वानुमते समिती नव्याने गठीत करण्यात आली असून समिती महाविद्यालयाचे न्याय शिक्षक कर्मचाऱ्यांचे मूल्यांकन तसेच मूल्यमापन करून अहवाल सादर करण्याची जबाबदारी समजत आहे. समितीची गठन ह्या समितीचं गठन झालंय ही फक्त गठन झाल्याची समिती आहे. त्या पत्राला मराठीमध्ये शुद्ध मराठीमध्ये याला वाचलं तुझं काय अशी समिती गठन झाली आहे यांचं असं जबाबदारी राहील. आता अपॉइंटमेंट मग वेगळे प्रति डॉक्टर अखिल शकील समन्वयक तुम्ही ह्या कमिटीमध्ये समन्वयक म्हणून आयकेसी समितीचे नियुक्त करण्यात आलेला आहे. त्याला म्हणते अपॉइंट ही कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनची मीटिंग आहे जे आहे ते मिळेल.
अजय भैया I guess by mistake Akitesh भैया
जी please
I guess कुछ by mistake it got connected and I want to ask question but I am failing to provide him mic भैया Nachalam भैया raise the hands जी
Hello?
The question is very nice. Actually, my last week also I am asking the question how to reduce opacity. You have already explained. But yoga, I want some PPT and everything, YouTube and everything I have noted. Just to share if you have any best yoga in your PPT like that, it's useful to do that activity.
जी. Sir, actually the best thing I will suggest you that if you have any trained yoga instructor,
okay,
so initially it is good to join, like if I may share you PPT, there is no issue. Okay. But just by seeing the PPT whether you are doing it correctly or not, it is difficult to understand. Even if you are seeing videos and doing it, so sometimes we will not be able to understand our own that whether I am doing very correctly or not. But if a trained yoga instructor is there, so you just require the initial 1 week or 10 days to go and to understand, and he will correct all the postures and he will explain you how to perform with the breathing practices like the Surya Namaskara. There are 12 steps. So initially we have to do it in the normal way. Then there is another level where you have to do it with the breathing pattern, inhale, exhale. So when to inhale, when to exhale. So these all things will be possible if you have any good trained yoga instructor. You just go for 1 week or 10 days. You will learn all the this asanas, and then you can continue your practice. No need of continuously going and paying to him. So you can continue with your own. Just for learning, it is better to go. Or if you have some idea already, you have the idea of this doing yoga, you are doing some of the asanas, it is in your daily practices, then you will able to do without any problem. Then even the videos etc will help you.
Okay, my second question is honey is good for health, but people told honey will increase the weight also. How much quantity to be used?
See, honey will not increase weight. Even for reducing the obesity, we suggest to take triphala with honey or with honey water.
Triple
So
means?
honey will not increase weight. Honey will help you to reduce the weight.
Okay.
And how much quantity that you can go just for 2 spoons, not more than, like in 1 cup of water, you can put 2 spoons of honey. That
Warm
much
water.
you can go. Yeah. No, warm water. Take with the normal water.
But
Don't
it's not
mix
mixing.
honey with the warm water.
Mixing is very difficult, honey with normal water.
No. It is easily mixing. No issue.
Okay.
The honey will easily get mixed with warm water, with normal water. Don't mix honey with the boiled water or with the warm water.
Okay, thank you.
See, this is a very wrong practice that they use honey, lemon, and they boil it and they drink it, thinking that this will reduce obesity. Actually, this is wrong practice. Honey should not be heated. This is very important. Honey should not be heated. Honey should not be mixed with any hot substances. Honey should be consumed with this normal water, normal water only. Even I will tell you just like some of the Ayurveda preparations which contains honey, like one of the very famous Ayurveda preparation which you all are aware of, that is Chawanprasha. So in preparation of Chawanprasha, when we have to add honey in the Chawanprasha, we add it after it cools down. When it is coming down, cools down, then we add honey, not with this boiling this Chawanprasha. When we are preparing it, once it cool down, then only it is recommended to mix the honey. So honey should not be mixed with hot substances or with consumed with hot things. So normal honey, it will help in reduction of obesity, and we suggest for that.
Okay, thank you. Some students in the morning itself break the tiffin to reduce the weight. That is a wrong practice. I have also informed the students, but they don't follow. To reduce weight, they break in the morning tiffin itself. They can miss that one.
Yeah.
Is it wrong, Vegla?
Yeah, actually, they can select some of the food items. Is instead of skipping the whole breakfast, they can select some of the food items which will not cause obesity. So like I suggested that they can go for the dalia, they can go for the moong dal and this chapati made up of barley. So there are so many other options. Upma, they can go with this wheat, this vegan ragi upma, such kind of things. Millets upma they can go for. So such kind of things they can include instead of going with this parotha or the bhaji pakoda or some kind of these breakfast items, or even going with the dosa, idli. So instead of that, they can choose some of the food items which will not contribute in increasing the weight, and it will also give you proper nutrition. So that they can do. And again, the quantity also matters. So quantity, they have to take only half of their stomach capacity, not to full satisfaction.
Oh,
so
thank you. You share your mail ID. I can.
Yeah, please, you can. I will just type here in the chat box. Okay. So you can share my mail ID, no issue.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello.
जी भैया.
भैया नमस्ते. भैया, I am Prabhat from the Lucknow. I am 119 kg at present. So I decided to reduce the weight. So what I do, I go to gym from last 1 month. So and what is my habit is, my habit is very bad at the night. First thing, I sleep at late night around 11 or 12, and after 2.5 hours I wake up in the mid in around 1:30 or 2 a.m. So what I do, sometime when I wake up I eat something. Sometime I take 1 spoon sugar and some apple at night. This craving under me to eat something, and after 1 hour I will again sleep. So what I realize here, when I take the sugar of 10 grams sometime, because here from last 1 month I am just recording my weight every day. So when I take the sugar at night, my weight is increased around 300 gram to 400 gram. So is this possible that if I take the 5 gram sugar or 10 gram sugar, it increase our weight up to this much?
Yeah. See, I'm sharing here in the chat box my WhatsApp number. I will suggest you some of the simple medicines also after discussing with you.
Yes, Jibia.
And actually, you can easily reach to your ideal weight. There is no much issue. The only thing is you target it just 1 to 2 kg in a month. Don't try to suddenly reduce 5 to 6 kg in a month. That kind of plant you don't keep. And with some modification in your diet, see, the obesity, the diet is very important. And the selection of the diet it should be such that it should satisfy your hunger, but it should not contribute to your weight gain. The problem with the obese person is they have a very good appetite. And immediately after having food, again they will be ready to have food. Their appetite is very good. This is the problem with obesity. If we say that you take less food, they will be very restless. They will be always having the tendency to go and eat something, to have something.
You're right. You're right.
So selection of diet is such that it should be, what we say is, in the Ayurveda, we say it is the Guru Ahara. The Guru Ahara, which should be apatarpana, that the Ahara should be heavy for the digestion, but it should not cause weight gain. So that kind of food item you have to select. And one of the such item is using barley instead of wheat. If you use barley, so barley is the thing which is little heavy for the digestion, having enough fiber in that, but it will not cause obesity. And even if you have one extra chapati of barley or little extra of dalia or anything made up of barley, it will not contribute in weight gain. So that kind of, like similarly we say suggest to go for the kodo millet. Now it's very popular, kodo it becomes very popular. So that also we suggest, because it is little heavy for the digestion and it is having the ruksha guna. So it will not increase the weight of the person. So little bit these kind of modification is required. Then again, the hunger is not the normal hunger, it is the pathological hunger. To subside or to bring it to the normal hunger, they require some of the medicine also. So that is how we handle the obesity. So we suggest some of the dietary things, and whenever it is required, we suggest some of the drugs also. So these drugs will maintain the hunger, will not cause a very high or very again craving for the food. So it will not cause that kind of things. And again, the food which we will suggest, it will satisfy the hunger. It will be little heavy for the digestion. So you will not require the food more than 2 times in a day. So that kind of plan we make. And it is possible that, just like you told, that your weight is 90 kg. So you can easily, if you just plan for 6 to 8 months, easily you can reduce 10 to 15 kg. If you just reduce 1 to 2 kg in a month, so in the 8 months, you can reach to 10 to 15 kg. And like this, if you follow for 1 year, you will easily reach to your ideal weight condition. So you can share, I will suggest you some of the dietary things and even some of the simple medicine, not very costly medicine, some very simple medicine. Just you have to follow it for a little longer time. But don't worry that it will it will be difficult. It will be very easy. You can have enough food, no issue. And you will not feel any lethargy, not feel any exhausted. Nothing will happen. Easily you will reduce weight.
जी भैया, जी भैया। भैया, WhatsApp number can you share on the
I
chat?
just shared in the chat box. If you see, I just shared WhatsApp number and email ID.
No, I am not seeing your. No, I am not seeing your WhatsApp number here.
You are not able to see.
Yes, got it.
Got it,
भैया.
So yeah, भैया. So you can.
Thank you, भैया.
जी.
I will contact you. Thank you, भैया. Thanks a lot, भैया.
जी.
जी, thank you, Akhilesh bhaiya, and thank you all the course bro. Let's
My pleasure.
respect the circadian rhythm also.
जी
So
भैया.
it's really a very enriching experience here to you, bhaiya, and we like to hear you more and more. And so with that, I request all of you to be connected, keep exploring, and we'll see you all again next Friday for more and more health updates and such session. So thank you everybody. Namaste, Akhilesh bhaiya.
Shubhratri.